Hello everybody and welcome to Car Confections. Now sitting to my left is the all-new 2026 Honda Prelude. This of course is a vehicle that has a ton of hype around it, and what I'm going to be doing today is doing a sunrise night review of this product. There's a lot of cool daytime reviews that you can watch, but not so many at nighttime. So what we're going to be focusing on in this video is all the lighting elements. So without further ado, let's get to it. All right, so we start out all of our nighttime reviews by talking about what happens as you approach the vehicle. For the Prelude, not a ton happens when it comes to the lighting elements. However, the door handles will pop out upon approach, and then if you unlock the vehicle, you'll see that we have some interior illumination that will go ahead and turn on. As you can see, the door handles will pop out as well, and then there is a light behind the door handle as well, so you can easily see where to grab. And then opening up the door, take a quick look inside at that cabin. There's a lot to talk about in there, but first I want to go ahead and get in and start it up so you can take a look at all of the exterior lights. All right, so we've got to talk about the exterior of the Prelude. Now, of course, as you can see, it really does have a beautiful design, and you can even see that here at nighttime. This is one of those vehicles that I think they've really just nailed the exterior design. The paint color that we have on this model is the Boost Blue, and as far as the front end itself, there's going to be, a relatively simple grille design, but I think it looks really fantastic. But of course, we're doing a night review, so we need to talk about the headlights. And taking a look at our headlights, you'll see that they're very premium. Actually, as a matter of fact, at nighttime, you can really see some of the intricate detailing that Honda has gone into for this headlight. So this is your daytime running light up here at the top. As you can see, it has nice lines in it, so it really has a very intricate design to it. I think that's a nice touch, especially for a vehicle with a relatively affordable price tag. And then down below, we have projector LED headlamps. These are for both your low and your high beams. We'll talk a little bit more about overall headlight performance a little bit later in this video, but if you want to see the turn signal indicator, you can see that over there on the left-hand headlamp. That's a nice amber finish, and like I said, it is doubling as your daytime running light as well. You're not going to have any fog lights or anything on the Prelude, as you might expect. And moving along here, we have some fully gloss black wheels here for this model. This is actually what's standard on the Prelude. You also see those blue brake calipers kind of peeking out. You can get accessory wheels if you prefer. And taking a look at our mirrors are going to actually be finished in body color. They have heating and blind spot monitoring, but they don't have any auto dimming or anything like that. Of course, this is a vehicle that's targeted for a more affordable price point, so you're not going to have some of the luxury goodies that you might get on some more expensive products. As far as overall vehicle length, this is about 5 inches shorter than something like a Honda Civic. And then as we head around to the rear of the Prelude, I have to say this thing looks absolutely fantastic at nighttime. I love the look in the daytime, but the lighting itself is super, super unique here on the Prelude. As you can see, it's a full-length light bar that goes all the way across the back, and these taillights really have a nice look to them. As you can see, this is your accent strip. You have your Honda branding right through there. You have an LED reverse light as well, and then over here on this tail light you'll be able to see the amber turn signal indicator that also looks quite premium. Now dropping down from there, we have LED license plate lighting as well, which is something that honestly a lot of brands will kind of cheap out on to save a few bucks. And then let me go ahead and open up the cargo area, and when I do that, you will see we have about 15 cubic feet of cargo capacity here on the Prelude. I have to say that's a lot more than what we were expecting. That's because this new generation is a liftback. And let's talk about lighting. I'm also pretty happy to tell you that, for a coupe, typically this would definitely not be a focus, but Honda has really given you some great lighting back here. You have an LED light on both the left and right hand sides that really illuminates everything here in the cargo area very well. As you can see, we have a backpack you can easily see to grab things inside of there, so I'm very pleasantly surprised by that. You can also fold the seats down if you prefer. And I do want to point out that if you're looking for a review where we talk about all the details of this Prelude, we do have one of those live on the channel already. We want to focus on the lighting elements for this model specifically. But We've got to get to the interior, so let's get to that. But first, if you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We started young, and since then we've reviewed over 2,000 cars at every price point.
No matter what you're looking for, from our long-term vehicle videos to our side-by-side comparisons, we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family.
Let's learn a lot and have some fun with all the latest cars.
All right, so let's check out the inside. As soon as I unlock the vehicle, that's where all of your interior dome lighting will go ahead and turn on for this vehicle. As you can see, you have the dome lights right up there in the front. And because this is such a small cabin, because it's a two-door, that really does a great job of illuminating everything when you get inside. Now, of course, the Prelude has some pretty special seats, so I do kind of want to talk about this real fast, just so you can actually see what they look like. This is actually the two-tone, like navy blue with the kind of gray outside to it. I think this looks absolutely fantastic. These are also really, really comfortable seats as well. They are just manually adjusting, so keep that in mind. Let me go ahead and hop inside. When I do that, you'll get a little bit of a animation there on the gauge cluster, and then have the headlights themselves in the gauge cluster. That's pretty cool. I like that touch. And then let's take a look at our push button start. Kind of pulsates, and then when we fire it up, the headlights will actually turn on in the gauge cluster. I think that's a really nice touch for this model. It makes it feel a little bit more premium. And now let's go ahead and transition into a first-person POV so we can look at some of the details. Now, as you can see outside, it is starting to get light. That's because this is a sunrise drive, and typically we do these at, full nighttime. However, we are in the first drive program of the Prelude, and we really wanted to show you all of the details of this cabin when it comes to lighting as soon as possible. We do look forward to maybe covering this in a night review in the future when we get one back home. Unfortunately, I can't really talk too much about the headlight performance just because of that. As you can see, there's a little bit too much sun to really take a look at that. But I would expect these headlights to be pretty good because they're projector LEDs. Now, as far as the gauge cluster itself, it is a fully digital setup. It has things like navigation built inside, and one of the things that I also like is the fact that this car inside the gauge cluster mirrors what you're actually doing outside. That's pretty neat. And then coming back to the steering wheel, we have a nicely leather-wrapped steering wheel. All of your buttons are finished in the same, premium white color. So I do really like the fact that they have gone for a more premium vibe by not giving you like a orange color or anything like that on all of your buttons. It has that nice white illumination. Also, real metal paddle shifters as well. So I definitely like that. Off to the side, more white buttons. We have illumination for all of our window switches as well as the door locks themselves. And then looking at the door grab itself, you do not have illumination inside of here. So that is something that I would have maybe liked to have seen because there's not any other ambient lighting here on the door trim. So, like I said, this is going for a more premium or a more affordable price tag, So that being said, you don't really have any advanced ambient lighting here on the door trim. You also don't have the door handle illumination. You do have a little bit of footwell lighting, as you can see. The pedals are illuminated, and that goes for both the driver and passenger side. Taking a look at the center console, there's no lights in there. Pretty decent amount of storage space, though, for a coupe. 2 cup holders, and then as far as the center section, you have your electronic style shifter. Once again, same white illumination for this. When you go into drive, that illuminates green. Then just pull the trigger and that will take you into reverse. I want to talk about this for a second. The backup camera is pretty low resolution in the daytime, and at nighttime it gets even worse. So I would say that I was kind of hoping for better resolution when it comes to the backup camera. It gets definitely grainy at nighttime. You do have active trajectory though, so keep that in mind. And then let's go back into park. You have your brake hold, electronic parking brake. Your drive mode controller is here, and then of course that new S Plus shift button. We'll talk about that in our actual full review. We have a light here for our wireless phone charging pad, so that's pretty good that you have the illumination so you know where to stick your phone. Now while I'm down here, let's go ahead and open up the glove box. The glove box, I'm surprised to tell you, actually has illumination as well inside. It's a LED setup. And then for your climate, Take a look at this. It's a very simple setup. I like the way they do the climate on these models. It's really easy to use. Feels premium as well. You have the white light tracing around the knobs themselves. However, they don't change colors. I believe the Honda HR-V, if you go warmer, it goes red, and colder, it goes blue. That's not here on the Prelude. You have 3-stage heated seats. No ventilated seats are available. A Bose audio system, and let's take a look at the screen itself. This is going to be the upgraded 9-inch screen. The Prelude is one size fits all, so every single model is going to have all of this as standard equipment. It has things like Google built in as well. Resolution on this is pretty good. It's nothing too exceptional, but it also is pretty solid at the same time. Wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto as well. Now moving on up, one of the things I'm happy to see is the fact that we have an auto-dimming interior mirror right here, so you're not going to be blinded at nighttime with this model. No HomeLink garage door openers though, so that is kind of noteworthy. Take a look at our sun visor. All right, there we go. So the only incandescent light in the cabin is there on your sun visor. You do have a mirror, and I like the fact that it does have a light. So some of the cheaper cars will get rid of that, but it is an incandescent light itself. You can turn on all of your interior dome lighting just by pressing that, and there is not a moonroof on the Prelude. Now's the time where I normally will go ahead and check out the back seats. For this model, you do actually have back seats, but as you can tell, they're definitely more for emergencies only. There's not going to be any features back there per se or any illumination. So overall, what do we think about the lighting in the Honda Prelude? Well, I think they could have maybe added a few additional lights when it comes to the cabin. This is a vehicle that starts at $42,000 and after destination is sitting right at $43,000. So I wish they had maybe done at least a ambient light strip across the dashboard or on the door trim. But overall, the cabin itself does have some decent lighting as well as that footwell lighting throughout. So pretty happy with it, but could use just a little bit of improvement. And guys, that's going to wrap up our night review of the all-new 2026 Honda Prelude. Of course, the sun is rising, so we have to wrap this video up. If you enjoyed watching, we'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below. By subscribing, you're going to be a part of our Car Confections family, and we have a lot of fun on this channel, and I promise you won't want to miss out. If you're looking to buy a Honda Prelude or any new vehicle, we would encourage you to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes. The reason you should do that is because we have a tool on our website that will connect you with local car dealers in your area to get you the best price. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool to use while dealership negotiating. If you'd like to take advantage of that, as well as things like our monthly payment tool, you can find a link to that down below in our video description, as well as a pinned comment at the top of this video. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. If you're at all interested in the Prelude or any vehicle, definitely subscribe down below. And if you're already a fan and subscriber, thank you for your continued support. We'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.